It's Christmas period, and both Charlie and Donna are at the bookstore with eyes on the same book. They pull at it from their opposite sides of the shelf, but Donna's tug is stronger. All's fair in love and war, and the two peer through the shelf's opening to exchange civil greetings. It's the beginning of their love story, tied together in matrimony soon after. Another Christmas period comes, and Donna is several weeks pregnant. She follows the sound of hammering into her unborn daughter's room, where Charlie is nailing away. Donna takes a delightful look around the room and voices their daughter will love it. Aimed at assisting, she tries to pick up a box but is instantly destabilized by pain that makes her collapse into Charlie's arms. Donna is on hospital admission and the baby bump is gone. Charlie seats by her bedside holding her hand. He comments it's a miracle she's alive, and she chokes out the harsh reality that their baby is gone. Charlie promises they are a family together as long as they have each other. When Donna returns home, the elephant in the room becomes how Donna can move on and Charlie assist. She suggests they give the baby's stuff all to charity as helping people would help her heal. Their daughter's bookshelf already lined with some books gives Charlie a good idea to help them help other people. The idea is a bookstore and the name would be The Bridge, aimed at being a venue customers can have personal connections with access to real books. Pumped up, the couple lease a house with the space and structure that's perfect for their dream. Charlie can already see people streaming in to find their haven and comfort. He chimes the bookstore could become their home, and Donna adds it could be more, it could be family. Collected effort has the bridge taking shape with Donna and Charlie handling the renovations by themselves. The grand opening of the store is now only hours away. Charlie takes a seat in one of the reading chairs and cradles his wife on his lap. They muse about people streaming in the following day in contrast to the solitude they still have now. The bridge would stop just being a dream and become a reality in only a few more hours. In Seattle, 2009, in a grand estate, Mr. Callens is finding it hard to come to terms with a daughter going so far away for college. Molly reminds him that a deal is a deal. She will one day become the CEO of her father's company, but only if she's allowed to go to her choice of college and choose her line of study. She also reminds her dad she's only going to be 6 hours away by flight. With hopes that everything is settled, Molly opens the front door to leave, but she finds Preston at the doorstep who her father invited over to take her to the airport. Molly counters her best friend Ronnie will be her escort. Ronnie rings the bell just then and assists Molly with her bags. Mr. Callens, still not ready to let his daughter go, calls her retreating form and reiterates a list of don'ts and protective measures. Molly does her best not to roll her eyes and tries to pacify him that she'll call periodically as promised. He asks if their father-daughter relationship has been good so far and she assures that it has. He tells her that her mother would be proud and gives her a hug. Molly has to cut him off when he tries to lecture her on at least taking a business course. Seatbelt strapped on, Ronnie notices the conflicting look on Molly's face. She explains she doesn't have a major and should probably have stuck to Stanford like her dad would have preferred. Ronnie reminds her why she made the decision to go far in the first place. This is Molly's opportunity to live a life outside her predestined fate. Molly arrives in Nashville, Tennessee, at the bustling campus of Belmont University. A bell goes off and Molly starts to quicken her steps while consulting a map in her hand for directions. With her attention divided, she crosses the road without watching, and is almost run over. Thankfully, a blonde hero with a guitar strapped on, Ryan, steps in to get her out of the way. A brief conversation ensues, revealing Ryan is indigenous and Molly is from Seattle. He tells her he'll see her around and moves the opposite direction, throwing a smile in her direction. Molly approaches a registration table and asks to sign up for music appreciation. Ironically, Ryan is there too to sign up for the same course. He tells her he's a music manager while she states she's experimenting with something new. They part ways again, only to meet up at a different booth, both asking for the same book genre. Ryan voices it's his turn to step out of his comfort zone. With running into each other so many times, it would be treacherous that they don't give in to fate and walk together, which is exactly what they do. Molly spots the campus bookstore has a lot of traffic and expresses disappointment that there isn't somewhere else they can go to get the literature books she needs. On the contrary, Ryan informs her that there is, and he can be her guide there. Molly realizes she doesn't even know his name and they introduce themselves properly before they get into his pickup truck. They arrive at the bridge, a homely property, and Ryan remarks Charlie and Donna are a pretty neat couple that own and run the place. Within, Charlie and Donna are doing their thing. Charlie is seen helping customers find and bond with books, while Donna has a dessert stand with mouth-watering cupcakes that Charlie keeps telling customers are for free, even though they're not. He gets to meet Ryan, who he's already familiar with, and Molly, who he reads like an open book. Molly is surprised until Ryan explains Charlie has a talent of accurately reading people. Ryan also acquaints Molly and Donna before he asks Molly to come along with him to see the best part of the bridge. He has no doubt she'll love it as he leads her to the reading room. Indeed, Molly falls in love as the place gives off an assurance of somewhere she can come to escape. Ryan feels they should strike a deal. They'll need a place to study and offer each other help. Him, with 19th century literature and she, with music appreciation. Ryan drives Molly back with intent to drop her all the way home, but she opts instead to stop kilometers away, explaining she can walk the remaining distance home as a form of exercise. It comes off weird to Ryan, but he agrees. He stays parked long enough to watch her walk till she's out of sight on the lonely path. Molly talks to her dad, updating him on her college life and schedule so far. She signed up for both macroeconomics and literature classes. Her sarcasm laces through the conversation, jokes among facts about her father still wanting to baby her, and her father replies accordingly, not ashamed to want every detail concerning his little girl. She goes on to tell him her classes start the following day and she has a good place to study with a study partner. Ryan's call starts to be interrupted, and Molly ends the call with her dad before he can drill her about this new mystery study partner. Ryan called to offer to be her guide around town after their classes that both happen to end by 3 p.m. Molly voices her availability, and Ryan has a wide grin on his face by the time he drops the call. His mom comes into his room to inform him dinner is almost ready and notices his excitement. She asks who he was on the phone with, but he decides to keep it his secret. Over at Molly's, a similar thing has happened. Ryan asks if she's fine and Molly has nothing negative to say. They meet up as planned and Ryan goes full tourist guide mode on Molly with history facts on Franklin. He mentions Franklin is known for its bluegrass festival with famous players that show up and turn up in a club called Lucky. Lucky is a club some house-known musicians have graced, and is a spot where new material are experimented and discovered. Molly likens the discovery part to Ryan as she infers it's only natural he must be into music with the dreams of taking the world by storm. They settle on a seat in the park with ice cream. Ryan expresses he has a genuine passion for music, and Molly likes the idea he knows what he wants to do with his life. Ryan counters her life seems pretty set out as well. She's going to be the CEO of her father's company by the time she's 25. Saying it out loud, he starts to piece the puzzle, realizing she's the daughter of the founder of Callan's Media. He opines she must be as passionate about business as he is about music. He, however, has to clarify he's not planning to become some big country star. He wants to be a music teacher. Molly listens intently and with admiration as he continues to reveal his interesting personality. She does it again. Makes him stop a distance from her residence so she'll walk the rest home. He tries to insist he'll drive her all the way, especially since it's getting late. But Molly hops out of the car and continues her journey. Study begins, Molly and Ryan alternating between teaching roles. Charlie and Donna watch them from the sidelines, and Charlie has a solid theory the younger pair will be a couple in 2 months max. He prides himself in knowing he's never been wrong about love. Ryan drives Molly to the usual spot she stops at, and she continues her walk home. He asks why she has to do that, wondering if she has a secret at home she doesn't want him finding out. She admits she has an overprotective father, who also still has control over most of her life decisions. He rented out a house in Franklin because he felt the Belmont dormitories would be too distracting. Ryan asks if he's a distraction and Molly fervently insists he's far from that. Ryan proceeds to help Molly out of the car, chivalry making him help her with her bag, which she momentarily confuses for him leaning in for a kiss. They rest on the side of the pickup, their discussion far from over. She tells him about the passing of her mom when she was 7, leaving just her and her dad. She goes on to say she knows her father loves her and is just pushing her to be the best of what he thinks she can be. Ryan asks if that's why she's going the route of CEO at age 25. Molly counters, insisting her father has always made good decisions for her. But Ryan doesn't see that as a reason for him to make decisions, nor for Molly to let him make decisions, for the rest of her life. He advises her to think of the possibility of holding the reins instead, but she thinks she wouldn't even know what to do if she had the reins. Ryan understands Molly feels safer with her dad in control, but he needs her to be sure if that's the best option in the long run. Ultimately, even after their heartfelt discussion, Ryan still doesn't get to know where exactly Molly lives because she sticks to her ritual of walking the remaining distance home. Ryan drives home and picks up his guitar case and a 19th century literature book that has him smiling, probably because it has him thinking of Molly. He's just about to head indoors when Kristen calls out to him. She's home for the weekend and offers that they go somewhere for dinner. Over dinner, they catch up. She reveals she was feeling homesick, hence why she's around for the weekend. She asks about the future of their relationship, pertaining they ease the initial rules of time apart. She mentions she's been thinking of him, he's the reason she's homesick, and communication is key. Flattered as he is, Ryan affirms they keep their initial plans of distance. Donna chats with a customer that has been nose-deep in her book for a while. The customer talks about how the current book recommendation made her laugh, which she needed, and reveals she does medical billing but was planning on quitting this coming Thanksgiving. She was married the previous Thanksgiving to her high school sweetheart who became a soldier. Work separated their young love but also reunited them when he happened to be posted close to where she lived. They had only been married for 3 weeks before he was slayed in action. Donna's heart goes out to the customer and she hugs the customer, who springs up in tears. Donna gives her a new book recommendation, which the customer appreciates because it has a protagonist who was a nurse. She explains nursing as her dream career. Donna can only smile because the bridge is doing what it should be doing and how she hoped it would do it. Meanwhile, study partners, Molly and Ryan are still going strong. Donna frets about the revolution of the internet. She's concerned their bookstore would stand the face of the electronic age as more and more people are leaning towards e-books and downloads. She worries Faith won't do it alone any longer, and she and Charlie would need a marketing strategy that can stand out and withstand. Charlie asks what she proposes they do exactly, and she admits she doesn't know yet. He suggests she follows him to church the following day as it's where he does his best thinking, but Donna scoffs. Movies after his service is more her liking. Molly helps out Ryan with his 10-year plan video assignment. There's a lot on the board, but the sticker for his music teaching degree doesn't have a place yet on the board. Ryan shares how his 10-year plan might have slowly been changing over the years. He admits he's interested in writing and has written a couple of songs that may be mediocre at best. Molly didn't know he had songs he's written but affirms they'd be good. Ryan doesn't see how she can know that, but she remains positive. Despite his fear, she can see the possibility of him getting his big break in the music industry, should he pursue the vision. In 10 years' time, he could become a household name in music. Ryan battles with confronting his mom about his change of plans, not sure how she'll take it. Ryan likens his situation to Molly's, but Molly argues they're on two different planes. At least he has what he's passionate about. Ryan decides they'll strike a deal. He'll tell his mom about becoming a performer while, on the other hand, Molly will have to figure out something that holds her interest. He might be the one with the school assignment, but they both have lives that need figuring out. The goal is to hold each other accountable of being their dream selves in the next 10 years. For Ryan, it's a task he really looks forward to, as he believes Molly would be amazing at whatever she figures out to do. He invites her to meet his mom the day before Thanksgiving, as she plans to go home on Thanksgiving. Molly is nervous at the offer but accepts. Ryan hopes he can get acquainted with her father too, in the nearest future. In the meantime, he's positive Molly and his mom will get along just fine. Meanwhile, Charlie and Donna are still in the business of helping their customers with not just finding books, but finding their purpose. Molly is still helping Ryan with his 10-year video plan by recording him as they walk the streets. She asks personal questions like first kiss and childhood sweetheart. His answer to the childhood sweetheart part is Kristen. For Molly, that's Preston. She spots the Lucky Club and decides they should film in front of it as a form of manifestation of his vision. Molly pulls him so he's standing with the club as a backdrop and she begins shooting. He tells the camera, within 10 years he'd like to be a performer, able to play at the club and be in the company of other great performers. When he's done, he unexpectedly hands the baton to Molly, who argues it's not even her video. Ryan persists she'll be in his life 10 years from now and it was her idea to say things out loud. He takes the camera from her and is able to film her saying she's not bent on running her father's company or staying in Seattle. It's a big revelation that Ryan asks if it's true, and Molly can confirm things are starting to change. Molly goes to the bridge and Donna notices she has a book in hand, but her mind is miles away. She approaches, concerned, and Molly finds herself revealing in depths how things are changing with Ryan at the core. She came to Belmont with the intention of a straightforward education. She also tells Donna about her late mother and how that has made her father too projective. Donna reasons Molly must look a lot like her late mother and her father sees this, influencing his decision of doing things to keep her by his side. Donna advises it's important to respect people that love her, but it's also important that she pursue her own passion when she sees and recognizes it. Molly admits confrontation is scary, and Donna laughs, but it must be done. Later on, Donna briefly discusses Molly with her husband. He asks her to come to church because she's constantly acting on faith and belief. Donna clarifies the bridge is all the ritual and religion she needs. She can comfortably say the bridge and Charlie are her family and all the foundation she can ever require. Molly goes over to Ryan's house to honor his Thanksgiving invitation and meets Kristen. Ryan explains Kristen came visiting for the holidays unexpectedly, and Molly decides to introduce herself to Kristen as simply Ryan's study partner. Kristen, on the other hand, excitedly introduces herself as Ryan's childhood sweetheart. Molly complains about the awkward encounter to Ronnie. Kristen made it clear that she's known Ryan practically his whole life, which intimidated Molly. Ronnie is able to convince Molly not to jump into conclusions, reminding her Kristen can very well be to Ryan what Preston is to her, forced. Ryan opens up to his mother about how his goals are gradually changing, and he fears she'll be disappointed in him for wanting something different, where it concerns both Kristen and teaching. He explains teaching is more reliable than performing and he wants to take care of her. His mother would prefer he chases his own dream. The conversation has them both emotional and tearing up. For Ryan, hearing his mother say she would support him in whatever he does makes him feel like a weight has been lifted of his shoulders. Molly is home for Christmas, and she gets his call from Ryan but chooses to ignore it. She goes to meet her father, who complains that she seems distant and her calls are shorter. Molly promises she's fine and talks a little about her time in Belmont. She also clarifies that while Ryan is very much a guy, he has a girlfriend. This seems to pacify her father. Preston comes to greet the Callens and states he can't stay for long, as his parents are expecting him. He goes on to reveal he'll see more of Molly during the Christmas break at the office. This ruins Mr. Callan's surprise to have Molly better experienced with the company during the holiday. The goal is to have her working in her own office every school break, and Molly lies that she looks forward to it. He shows her to her new office, her desk space wrapped up with a giant red bow. Meanwhile, Ryan sends a text message to Molly that her father sees. He then starts going through her call log and realizes Ryan may be more than a study partner. Ryan lets on to Charlie that things are changing. He then asks Charlie how he knew his wife was the one. Charlie answers he has seen Ryan and Molly together and just knows because it's quite obvious. Ryan goes to Kristen, as it's Christmas break, their designated time to talk about their relationship. By the time he's done, Kristen is in tears because Ryan doesn't want what she wants. Molly calls Donna to tell her she misses the bookstore. Later that night, Donna realizes Molly and Ryan's building relationship came about through the bridge. This means the bridge has the edge of connection and relativity that will keep its owners in business for a long time to come. They offer book recommendations, homemade cooking, and experience that ebooks can't give. Donna's take is that they capitalize on that. The ideas start flowing on who they can invite, authors or musicians. The couple decide Ryan will be their performer, and he doesn't say no to that. It's a brilliant idea bound to yield fruits, and Charlie kisses Donna in the middle of the bustling bookstore, appreciating her nonstop creativity. Ryan tries to talk to Molly in class but is unable to. After class, he finds her walking and pulls up his pickup truck for her to hop in. Molly refuses, stating she's behind on studies, and Ryan pleads with her to talk to him. Molly reluctantly gives him a listening ear, and he confesses Kristen is just a close friend that happens to have been there during sensitive times of his life, but that doesn't mean he's romantically involved with her. He tells her he hasn't felt an attraction to anyone else. He gets down from the truck and stands face to face to say he hasn't written Kristen a song, but he's written Molly like 12 since they first met. He updates her on his permanent friendship stance with Kristen, stamped over Thanksgiving. He brings Charlie and Donna's new publicist idea for the bridge, featuring anyone with a career. It's to kick off a few nights before Christmas, and Ryan asks Molly if she would be interested in helping out. Charlie is enjoying the feel of Christmas. The decorations, the food, the people, all coming together to make the bridge a mini paradise. It makes him wish it was Christmas every single day. The open night comes, and Ryan has everyone's attention with his guitar and nervousness. All of the nervousness, though, disappears once he starts strumming and singing. The lyrics have Molly smiling from ear to ear and the rest of the standing audience nodding along. Molly approaches him when he's done, baffled he's hidden such talent to himself. She predicts he'd be performing at Club Lucky in no time. Donna, who has a camera, calls their attention so she can take a picture of the two of them together. Molly invites him for Christmas Eve, knowing she'll be home alone, and Ryan, with a smile, can hardly say no. Christmas Eve comes, and Molly and Ryan spend it baking. Molly gets an incessant call and excuses herself to pick it up. She thinks it's her dad, but it's actually Preston calling from her father's office. He tells her he has a position waiting for him in the company as soon as he graduates. It's the perfect way to make sure their future is intact. Molly hints she's not interested in running the company and might stay in Tennessee. For Preston, that's a joke, but Molly explains she sees him as only a friend. According to her, if he's happy about being part of the company, a big dream of his, then he needs to be happy for just himself. She offers that they talk more and properly when she's in Seattle, and Preston opines she's just going through a phase influenced by her new environment. He thinks she's bound to change her mind once she comes home to what's waiting for her. Molly and Ryan enjoy their Christmas Eve, and Molly remarks the food is so good, he can cook for her as often as he likes. Ryan takes the comment in good faith, hinting at their possible future together. He notices it's snowing and they step out in warm coats. They're outside with Christmas lights twined and decorating every foliage so the atmosphere is warm and radiant. Ryan pulls out an envelope and hands it over to Molly as her Christmas gift. She states she didn't get him anything and he promises that's fine. She opens her envelope to see a pen song inspired by a Jane Eyre line, written just for her. Molly gets excited and asks him to grab his guitar quick so he can sing it to her. But there's more. In the envelope, also is her copy of the 10-year plan video. It features the song written for her. Moved, Molly lets Ryan kiss her after they share a hug. They kiss again as if the first was a dream, and one more time, after Ryan tells her she should watch the video. Molly packs her bags for Seattle with a permanent smile on her face. As she packs, she watches the video on her laptop. Ryan is strumming away on his guitar when he gets a visitor at his home. The man explains he represents Jesse Taylor, who saw Ryan perform at the bridge the other night. Stunned, Ryan invites the representative in and gives him a proper listening ear. By the time the representative leaves, Ryan realizes so much has happened in a split second. He has a chance to play backup guitarist for a music icon and has a day to decide if he'll have to drop out of school to pursue this golden opportunity. His phone rings and he thinks it's Molly, but it's actually her buzzkill father, warning him to back off. Ryan tries to object, but Mr. Callens pulls out evidence to convince him Molly's life is in Seattle with him and her future husband, Preston. He plays a recording of Molly telling Preston she loves him and looks forward to being with him when she gets to Seattle. Of course, the part where Molly mentions she loves Preston as just a friend have been edited out. Mr. Callens wraps it up by stating Ryan has to be realistic and understand he doesn't have much to offer Molly as a musician, so it's up to him to do the right thing. Molly notices Ryan is broody as he drops her off at the airport. She asks if she's done anything wrong and he gives her a flat no before starting to walk away. She stops him to gift him something for Christmas and he starts offloading about their kiss being a mistake. He lets on they're just friends and he shouldn't have crossed the line. He drops the news of him dropping out of school to join Jesse Taylor's band, and Molly doesn't even have enough time to process happiness on his behalf. He tells her he spoke to Kristen the previous night so they can give their relationship a try. This confuses Molly because his gestures have said something else. They've said she was the one, not Kristen. Ryan continues to hammer his life with Kristen is more realistic, and Molly walks away heartbroken. She gets a distance away to let out her tears and Ryan opens his gift to see a book with a romantic in script from Molly. Molly returns home and breaks down in her father's arms. He watches her sulk in the living room and fights with how to approach the situation. Meanwhile, Edna, the soldier's widow, comes to Donna with exciting news and a gift. She signed up for nursing school and starts in the new year. She shares how her life has changed since she found the bridge and its owners, and it inspired her gift too. Under the wrappings is a photo album with quotes from different books to match each photos of everyone that has become a part and parcel of the bridge. Donna catches up with Charlie to confess she does have faith, but in him. He's moved by her words and asks if she's coming to church with him. Her reply is no, but she hopes he knows she meant every word of endearment. He tells her he's grateful with a kiss. Molly receives a Merry Christmas text from Donna. It's Christmas Eve, and it's tradition that she gets a gift from her father. He comes into her room and hands it to her, asking her to open it there. She finds her mother's engagement ring that her father explains her mother wanted her to have as a college graduation gift. Graduation is still far away, but Mr. Callens expresses he hates seeing Molly sad, so if Belmont makes her sad, then she can transfer closer to home, closer to where she belongs. He states he only wants what's best for her, and she affirms that she knows that and loves him. He then gives her a kiss on her forehead and steps out. Donna goes through the photo album and realizes a picture needs to be there. It's the one of Ryan and Molly from the opening night. Ryan is staring at the book Molly gave him and pushes himself to call Molly. Little does he know she's trying to do the same. The lines don't connect, so Ryan tries again and it goes through. He mentions he just couldn't let Christmas go by without wishing her good tidings and lets her know he read her gift. It made him think so much about her. Molly remarks she also listened to his song, and her song, and it was beautiful. He asks her if she'll be experiencing a white Christmas, but she doubts Seattle has it in her. On second thought, she checks her window to see the snow flaking down. She tells Ryan it's quite magical, like a new beginning.